Maghatag og komprehensibo nga serbisyo, paghatag og pagbati ug pagbansay sa mga healthcare providers sa pagtubag sa kinatibuk-an ug empatiya nga panginahanglan sa mga survivor. Mutabang sa paglikay sa pagbalik sa violence pinaagi sa sayong nga pag-ila sa mga babae ug mga bata nga nakasinati og violence ug paghatag og tukma federal ug suporta. Kini si Shala Amor Claretti Monsanto, GAD Coordinator sa Satellite Campuses.
Sa ngalan sa University God Resource Center o Bukidnon State University, nagkahiusa kita sa pag-ingon, atong tapuson ang violence against women.
This is 104.5
DXBU 104.5.
This is BukSU 104.5 FM, bringing you the latest news and updates at 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
You're listening right now to DXBU 104.5 FM, the educational and smart community-based FM radio station of Bukidnon State University. Welcome to the program. This is DXBU News Patrol, bringing you the latest news from local, national, and international that matters. Once again, good afternoon. This is Kyle Christian Flores together with our student reporters from DevCom.
I am Erich Tagha.
Ariana Chavez, your DevCom Students News Reporter.
All right, today is Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Thank God it's Friday. February 21, 2025. And of course, to our officials from the Bukidnon State University, for our faculty, the staff, and of course the non-teaching. We would like to acknowledge first the following, especially our smart Bukidnon State University President, Dr. Joy M. Mirasol, our Vice President for Research, Extension, and Innovations, Dr. Karina Joan V. Barroso, Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Hazel Jane M. Abuela, Vice President for Administration and Finance, Mr. Dante S. Victoria Jr., Sir. Vice President for Culture, Arts, Sports, and Student Affairs, Dr. Lincoln Vitan. And of course, headed by our DXB Operations Manager, Engineer Manuel Chad G. Agurob, Sir. Mayang hapon, sir. Good afternoon. And of course, hi, sir. And to all DXB News and Technical team with our Sir Miguel Luis Eldizo, who is our technical on duty right now. And of course, our DevCom student newscasters, Ma'am Vanessa Dizo. Yes, good afternoon, ma'am. And to our viewers from our Facebook Live on our Facebook page, DXB 104.5 FM, and of course, in our YouTube. And to all our listeners and our visitors outside, hello, good afternoon. Hello. You're tuning in right now to the DXB 104.5. This is the News Patrol. Now let's start with our news for this afternoon. This is our headlines. Starting for our local news. BukSU reorients 1,235 students on affirmative action program. Okay, BukSU holds right shop on boost faculty research funding.
RCSP tackles teen health issues at Managop National High School.
Manolo Fortich LGU calls for collective action in Sagip Sapa program.
Manolo Fortich entrepreneurs gain skills and DTI seminar.
For our regional news, Department of Health reports nearly 6,000 deaths from lifestyle diseases in Davao region.
Comelec 11 forms task force to monitor vote buying.
Cotabato City Police cite manpower shortage ahead of elections.
For our national news, President Bongbong Marcos orders military to ensure peaceful midterm elections.
DENR targets 3 million hectares of reforestation by 2028.
Doctors urge Philippine government to approve dengue vaccine.
National ID registration opens for infants.
For our ASEAN news, Philippines and New Zealand finalize visiting forces agreement.
U.S. reaffirms MDT support after Chinese helicopter incident.
And for our sports news,
Brownlee's 39 points not enough as Gilas falls to Chinese Taipei.
and for our showbiz,
Robbie Domingo, Milay Cantiveros to host Pilipinas Got Talent Season 7.
stay tuned for more and for details of our news for this afternoon.
Bringing you the heartbeat of our community, local news.
But before we start for our local news, let's check first our weather updates.
Weather update.
For our weather update for today, according to the BukSU weather forecast at 4 a.m. in the morning, there is no typhoon or low pressure area or LPA within the Philippine area of responsibility. Northern Mindanao is not affected by the northeast monsoon and easterlies, but will experience cloudy skies with scattered rain and occasional thunderstorms due to the shear line. The easterlies will warm winds coming from the Pacific Ocean, carrying clouds that potentially bring rain to the affected areas. Here in the province of Bukidnon, including Malaybalay City, Valencia City, and surrounding areas, will experience occasional partly cloudy to cloudy skies with scattered rain, lightning, and thunderstorms due to the shear line. As of 2 p.m. today, light to moderate rains are expected over Bukidnon, especially on Malitbog, Manolo Fortich, Impasugong, Baungon, Talakag, Sumilao, and Libuna within the next 2 to 3 hours. The public and disaster risk reduction and management offices concerned are advised to monitor the weather condition and watch for the next warning to be issued later at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Lowest temperature has been determined from 2 a.m. in the morning with 21 degrees Celsius, and the highest temperature from 2 p.m. yesterday, 30.7 degrees Celsius. Sunrise was on 5:56 in the morning, and sunset will be later at 5:50 in the afternoon. And that is our weather update for this Friday, February 21, 2025. Let's move on right now to our local news.
Bringing you the heartbeat of our community, local news.
For our details for our local news, Bukidnon State University reoriented 1,235 students on its Affirmative Action Program or AAP last February 19, 2025. The event held at the University Gymnasium aimed to provide essential information to AAP grantees, who include indigenous peoples, working students, and persons with disabilities. AAP Coordinator Louis L. Laurelia led the session covering program guidelines and progress monitoring. Dr. Marisa P. Manglagaylay, Director of Institutional Student Programs and Services, emphasized persistence and academic achievement. 90 AAP grantees received certificates of recognition for their academic performance. With over 1,800 students currently enrolled in AAP, the orientation sought to clarify program expectations. Dr. Laura E. Anyar, Director of the Student Services and Engagement Unit, concluded the event by urging students to remain focused on their goals.
BukSU.
Continuing our local news, Faculty researchers at Bukidnon State University are enhancing their skills in securing external research grants through a hybrid concept proposal workshop on February 20 to 21, 2025. Organized by the BukSU's Research Study Centers, the event prepared researchers to align proposals with funding agencies, priorities to the 2027 cycle, including DOST, PCI, EERD, DOST, PCHRD, and NRCP. Experts from USTP and DLSU facilitated interactive sessions focusing on climate change, health, disaster risk management, and science communication. Faculty member Ms. Elaine May M. Chavez highlighted the importance of external grants, not just for funding but for building connections. The program aimed to increase the success rate of grant applications by refining proposal writing skills. BukSU's Research Studies Centers will continue to support faculty in developing competitive proposals for submission.
BukSU.
RCSB tackles teen health issues at Managok National High School. The Retold Community Support Program was conducted at Managok National High School on February 19, 2025. The program aimed to educate students on vital topics including adolescence, sexuality and reproductive health, HIV and STI awareness, teenage pregnancy, and mental health. Led by the City Health Office, including the National Deployment Program, Population Development, HIV, STI, and mental health staff, the event featured lectures and discussions. Experts emphasized the significance of mental and reproductive health and aim to raise awareness of youth-related issues. The CHO continues to hold similar activities to strengthen youth health education and protect them from future risks.
BukSU.
Manolo Fortich, LGU calls for collective action in Sagip Sapa program. The local government unit of Manolo Fortich, through its Municipal Environment and Natural Resources Office, urged companies and agencies to actively support environmental preservation through the Sagip Sapa program. A forum held on February 18, 2025 at the new government center highlighted the critical state of the municipality's rivers, which have high fecal coliform levels. Menro Officer Sharon Takbubu emphasized the need for shared responsibility, calling for the collective action to restore water quality. The forum, in partnership with the Northern Bukidnon State College, aimed to introduce the program's objectives and encourage participation. The forum, in partnership with Northern Bukidnon State, Mayor Rogelio N. Quino stressed the importance of collaboration, stating that LGU cannot achieve environmental goals alone. Representatives from various companies including Headcorp, Bukidnon Inc., and Republic Biscuit Corporation attended, expressing their commitment to the program.
BukSU.
Manolo Fortich Entrepreneurs Gain Skills and DTI Seminar. 25 newly registered business owners in Manolo Fortich attended a free seminar on entrepreneurial mindsetting and barangay microbusiness enterprise orientation held on February 19, 2025. Conducted by DTI's Negosyo Center, Trade Industry Development Analysis Jason L. Albarracin, the seminar aimed to equip participants with essential business skills and the right mindset. Albarracin emphasized the importance of proper mindset, character, and ability for entrepreneurs. The BMBA orientation highlighted registration benefits. Young farmer Noel Francis Labis, owner of Pines Farms, emphasized the importance of continuous learning and government support. The event, supported by LEDIPO, NBSC, MFCCII, aimed to foster a conductive business environment. Council Christy Liparto assured participants of LGU support.
BukSU.
Covering covering the stories that matter across the region. Regional News.
Moving on to our regional news. The Department of Health Region 11 reported that nearly 6,000 individuals in the Davao region died in lifestyle-related diseases in 2023. According to the DOH data, over 2,500 deaths were due to heart disease. More than 2,000 resulted in hypertensive diseases, and 1,300 were linked to diabetes. Health officials raised concerns over a high number of hypertensive patients which reached 37,000 last year. Experts pointed that poor diet, lack of exercise, excessive alcohol intake, and smoking as key risk factors. The data underscores the importance of DOH's intensified health campaign this February for Philippine Heart Month. This year's theme, tamang pagkain, ehersisyo at disiplina para sa pusong malusog at masigla, highlights proper nutrition, physical activity, and self-discipline to prevent heart disease.
BukSU.
Regional News. COMELEC 11 forms task force to monitor vote buying. The Commission on Elections Region 11 has formed a special task force to monitor activities during the local election campaign period, particularly vote buying. Assistant Regional Director Attorney Gay Innumerable stated that while the prohibition period begins March 28, distributing goods like rice with value is already an election offense. The task force will scrutinize local candidates and recipients for vote buying. Innumerables emphasized that those caught can face charges or disqualification. This initiative aims to ensure fair elections and combat illegal practices.
BukSU.
The Cotabato Police Office faces a significant challenge with insufficient police personnel for the upcoming elections. CCPO City Director Police Colonel G. Bin Bungkayaw expressed this concern during a sangguniang panglungsod session. Despite the shortage, Colonel Bungkayaw assured that they will strive to ensure a peaceful election, collaborating with Marines and force multipliers. He also highlighted the potential for teachers to withdraw from their roles as Board of Election Inspectors, citing past instances for their fear and safety concerns. To address these issues, Bungkayaw requested an additional 400 to 500 police officers as a standby force and potential special BEIS. He also asked the City Council for additional personnel to assist with election security on May 12.
BukSU.
This is BukSU 104.5 FM, bringing you the latest news and updates at 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
All right. The time check right now, it's already 4:24 in the afternoon. And of course, good afternoon once again to our DXB 104.5 FM. This is still Kai Christian Flores, and together with our student volunteers right here. I just want to ask a question to our partners right now. Okay, since today, yes, as we mentioned, there is a short of police force in the Cotabato area. But the connection here is, of course, the preparation for the elections. Now, do you have any basis, or do you have any can we call it? Okay, your preferences on what is a good, again, what will you vote, or your preferences for the upcoming election, from the senators to the councilors. What are your preferences, or siguro matawag nato na pinipili inyo? Anong pinipili inyo or requirements?
For me, sir, probably I would choose a candidate who is not only good or active during elections.
Okay, how about you? There's no preference yet, so undecided. All right. So good afternoon once again to our listeners, to our Facebook Live, and to our YouTube to our YouTube pages. And you're listening also to the DXBU 104.5 FM. Let's move on to our national news.
From coast to coast, national news.
Let's move on to our national news. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. has directed newly promoted military leaders to ensure a peaceful midterm elections in May. Speaking at Malacanang Palace on February 20, Marcos administered that oath to 35 newly promoted generals and flag officers of the Armed Forces of the Philippines or AFP, as well as the Foreign Pre-Commissioned Training Institutions or FPCTI graduates.
As a nation that deeply values and honors our right to vote, we are counting on the armed forces to ensure a peaceful, credible, and orderly conduct of the electoral process that Filipinos expect from us. We cannot fail them. To our esteemed officials and graduates today, be among those who stand at the forefront as we march towards a secure, prosperous, and thriving Bagong Pilipinas, a Bagong Pilipinas we all aspire for.
That was President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. He urged the AFP to guarantee a credible electoral process, emphasizing that failure is not an option. Marcos also praised the officers for their dedication and reminded them to uphold AFP's core values. He highlighted FPCTI graduates' potential to enhance defense strategies through global training and cooperation.
BukSU.
DNR targets 3 million hectares of reforestation by 2028. The Department of Environmental and Natural Resources plans to increase the country's forest cover by an additional 3 million hectares by 2028. DNR has begun mapping 1.2 million hectares of forest land to be open for reforestation projects involving people's organizations, private sectors, and global corporations. The Philippines has 15 million hectares of classified forest lands, with only 70 million hectares covered by forests. The government aims to gradually increase this figure, working towards a goal of at least 10 million hectares. The initial 1.2 million hectares will be developed for reforestation in partnership with various groups, and the target is to expand the forest cover by 3 million more hectares by 2028.
BukSU.
Amid rising dengue cases, medical experts and vaccine advocates are calling on the government to approve life-saving dengue vaccines. Dr. Lulu Bravo of the Philippine Foundation for Vaccination noted that Indonesia, Thailand, Malaysia, Vietnam, and even Europe have already approved dengue vaccines. However, the Philippines has yet to act on applications submitted on 2023. The Food and Drug Administration is currently assessing the applications, including the Japanese-made TAC 003 vaccine. The Department of Health explained that the agency is reviewing data from other regulatory bodies, including those in the US and the UK. Meanwhile, doctors remind the public to stay vigilant, keep their surroundings clean, and seek medical help immediately at the onset of symptoms to prevent severe dengue cases.
The Philippine Statistics Authority announced Thursday that national ID registration is now accessible to children under 1 year old. Parents or guardians must be registered in the system, as the child's ID number will link to theirs. Register together if needed, the PSA advised, highlighting the availability of registration at PSA centers and collocation sites. Required documents including PSA-issued birth certificates, passports, or documents showing the child's full name and birth details. Only demographic data and a photograph will be collected initially. Full biometric information, including the fingerprints and iris scans, will be captured when the child turns 5.
Connecting you to the world. World News.
Let's move on to our ASEAN and international news. The Philippines and New Zealand have concluded negotiations for the status of visiting forces agreement or SOVFA, the Department of National Defense or DND announced Thursday. Defense Undersecretary Pablo Lorenzo and New Zealand's Kathleen Pablo Pierce led the discussions. Both nations aim to sign the agreement on the second quarter of 2025. The SOVFA will strengthen defense ties, allowing joint military exercises. This move aligns with the Philippines' efforts to counter China's maritime assertiveness. The DND highlighted the importance of alliances to uphold international law. Negotiations began on January, with the Philippines pursuing SOVFAs with Canada and France. The agreement comes amid increased Chinese vessel prescribed in the Philippine Exclusive Economic Zone.
The United States has reaffirmed its commitment to the Philippines Mutual Defense Treaty, following a dangerous and irresponsible approach by a Chinese military helicopter towards a Philippine Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources aircraft near Bajo de Masinloc. The U.S. State Department condemned the actions of the People's Liberation Army Navy, urging Beijing to cease its coercive activities. The U.S. emphasized that the 1951 MDT covers any attack against Philippine Armed Forces, public vessels, or aircraft, including the Coast Guard, anywhere in the West Philippine Sea. This statement follows a Philippine Coast Guard report that a Chinese helicopter came within 3 meters of Coast Guard BFAR aircraft on February 18, posing serious risk to the pilots and passengers. China, meanwhile, claims the Philippine aircraft illegally entered its territory and dismissed the Philippine account as false narrative. The Philippine government is set to file a diplomatic protest against China regarding the incident.
Let's move on now to our sports news.
Justin Brownlee's impressive 39-point performance couldn't prevent Gilas Pilipinas from an upset 91-84 loss to Chinese Taipei in their FIBA Asia Cup qualifiers. Despite Brownlee's heroics, costly turnovers and missed shots plagued Gilas in the endgame. Chinese Taipei's Ting Shin Lin led his team with 21 points, while key contributions from Muhammad Al-Bashir Gadiaga and Chun Yang Do sealed the victory. Gilas, already qualified, suffered their first loss. The Philippines now faces New Zealand in their next game, aiming to recover from this setback.
Lights, camera, headlines, showbiz news.
Robbie Domingo, Melay Cantiveros to host Pilipinas Got Talent, Season 7. Robbie Domingo and Melay Cantiveros have been chosen as the host for the highly anticipated 7th season of Pilipinas Got Talent. Domingo expressed his excitement, acknowledging the show's iconic status and the legacy of previous hosts Luis Manzano and Billy Crawford. Cantiveros, meanwhile, reacted with humorous disbelief, feeling overwhelmed by the opportunity. Both hosts credit their experience on Pinoy Big Brother for their strong rapport, which they hope will resonate with viewers. Domingo praised Cantiveros' comedic talent, while Cantiveros expressed gratitude to Domingo for suggesting her as a co-host. Beyond their hostings, they emphasized the exceptional talent showcased by the contestant. Cantiveros promised mind-blowing performance, while Domingo highlighted the camaraderie between the host and the judge, hinting at entertaining interactions. They both are very excited to bring this new season to the viewers.
This is BukSU 104.5 FM, bringing you the latest news and updates every 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
All right, that is our details for our news today, this afternoon, February 21, 2025. But before we go, I would like to have some announcements here, especially on all the graduate school students. Yes, from the graduate school students, there will be a graduate school program second semester general orientation and assembly, which will be held on March 8, 2025, Saturday, 7:30 o'clock in the morning until 5 o'clock in the afternoon at the BukSU Gymnasium here at the main campus. I'll repeat, all the graduate students, there will be a graduate school program second semester general orientation and assembly on March 8, 2025, 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. at BukSU Gymnasium. And another announcement, especially coming from the Language and Letters Department, the English Week celebration, the English Day celebration will be postponed. Yes, the English Day celebration will be postponed as per the Language and Letters Department announced it this afternoon. This will be moved after the intramurals. And once again, the English Days 2025, which was initially scheduled on February 26 to 28, has been moved after the intramurals. But the application for who wants to join for the events is still going on, okay? But the schedule will be moved. All right. For your public service announcements, you may visit here at the DXBU Panawagan Center. If you have any announcements here, we're located at 4th floor at College of Technologies Building, Bukidnon State University, 40th Street, here at Malaybalay City, Bukidnon. Of course, catch our news every 4 o'clock in the afternoon, Monday to Friday, right here on in 104.5 BXBU. And for your comments, you can also visit and comment us on the Facebook page on DXBU. www.facebook.com/DXBUFM. Alright, so how are you feeling? So how are your feelings now sa our partners? So, how's your feeling? This is your first experience, right?
Yes.
Alright. Is it okay? Okay. Alright, so we would like, before we go, we would like also to acknowledge the following, especially to our smart Bukidnon State University President, Dr. Joy M. Mirasol. Vice President for Research, Extension and Innovations, Dr. Karina Joan V. Barroso. Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Hazel Jane M. Abuela. Vice President for Administration and Finance, Mr. Dante S. Victoria Jr. Vice President for Culture, Arts, Sports, and Student Affairs, Dr. Lincoln V. Tan. And of course, our DXV Operations Manager, who is present right now, Engineer Manuel Chadji Agurob, sir. And to all the DXV News and Technical team, especially to our technical on duty right now, Sir Miguel Luis Eldizo. And of course, Sir Michael on our photographer and videographer. Also to our DevCom student newscasters, to our partners here, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much. Don't forget, tomorrow there will be a power interruption at Saturday, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. I repeat, there will be an NGCP power interruption, so there will be no electricity on 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. So better charge your cell phones, your mobile devices, and so that there will be no interruption on your part. Thank you so much, and this has been Kyle Christian Flores together with
Erich Taghout.
Ariana Chavez.
for DXBU News Patrol. Good afternoon, Bukidnon. Maayan na hapon ninyong alan. God bless us all and happy Friday!
This is DXBU 104.5 FM, bringing you the latest news and updates every 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
This is 104.5
DXBU 104.5